Hi, welcome to Cover Your Eyes. This is Holly, and I just wanted to hop on here and let y'all know that Sarah and I had some technical difficulties when we were recording this week. We're not sure if the guys from The Omen cursed us, but Sarah and I have decided to take a breather. Instead of scrambling, we thought, hey, why not share a Patreon episode with you, dear listeners? We really have fun recording our after parties, and for Ghostbusters, our after party was all about spectrophilia, ghost sex. So if you are interested in the ins and outs of this wild lifestyle, join us.
All right. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Holly.
Today, for the after show, we could talk about ghost sex.
Let's do. I never knew it was a thing until I saw Ghostbusters and ghost blowjobs and Dan Aykroyd's underwear.
Do you have any other experiences with ghost sex, or have you had any stories, or what do you know? Tell me what you know about ghost sex, aka spectrophilia.
I feel like there's been other movies where a woman experienced ghost sex against her will, but I don't remember what. And then actually there was a show that I watched. It's on Hulu or something, and it's called I can't think of anything. My brain is fried. But it's a funny show, and it's about this guy who just wakes up with these powers of seeing ghosts, and then he's always having to help them solve their mysteries.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know it?
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. I love it. It's that cute chubby guy. He's hilarious. What's his name? Tyler something. I can never remember the name of that show, and I am always trying to tell people to watch it.
Yeah, I like the first, is it one season or two seasons? But then I feel like it just gets into a lot of shit jokes.
Shit, actual shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely better in the beginning.
The first season is perfect.
I know, it's so cute. But in that show, his friend does get a ghost blowjob at one point because his friend goes along with him to one of the hauntings, and there's a teenage girl haunting her upstairs bedroom or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so at the time, I didn't realize they were channeling Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
What's the name of that show? Can you please? Or what's the name of the actor? Give me one or the other. Deadbeat.
Yeah.
It's called Deadbeat.
Yeah.
It's a good show. Watch it, you guys.
Yeah.
He's hilarious.
So you never had any ghost sex?
I never personally had any. His name's Tyler Labine.
Mm.
And then his friend who gets a blowjob is named Rufy, and his real name's Andy Jackson or Brandon Jackson. Anyways, that's my closest experience. I feel because I am totally nerdy with ghosts, and I watch a lot of ghost shows, and I love My Ghost Story, where it's people who are telling the real ghost story, and sometimes they have actual footage and photos. But I feel on those shows I've heard stories of people saying that they had ghost sex, but I don't know the credibility of that.
Right.
What about you?
Well, I've never had any ghost sex that I'm aware of.
Mm-hmm.
However, I have had times where I woke up having an orgasm.
Okay, yeah.
And
that was a ghost.
Well,
that was ghost sex.
See, I never interpreted it as ghost sex. I just thought it was me having a wet dream.
Girls don't have wet dreams. It's only boys. For girls, it's ghost sex. Surprised you didn't know that.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, Do you want to hear a little bit about spectrophilia?
I do.
Well, not only does it mean having sex with the ghost, but it can also mean getting turned on by the thought as a philia, getting
Mhm.
turned on by the thought of having sex with a ghost.
Oh my God.
Now, I
It
don't
takes
know.
all kinds.
It really does. And
It really does.
I don't know how you would role play this, but if anybody out there role plays spectrophilia with a partner, please let us know how to do it because I'm very curious.
Yeah, I want to know, like, are you picturing like a Caspery ghost or like a classic sheet ghost or like a Civil War ghost? Like, what is your ghost fantasy?
Mhm.
How does that work?
Historically, ghost sex was frowned upon.
Oh my God.
In the Bible,
It's in the Bible?
in Genesis, it speaks of a time when spirits were coming into the human realm and impregnating women, human women.
Coming into the human realm. This is
Exactly.
in the Bible.
It's in Genesis.
Oh my God.
I spared you the quote because it was long and meandering.
Mm-hmm.
This is something known as an incubus
Oh,
that impregnates women.
okay.
But if we go back farther than Genesis, uh, we have the Zohar, which is the Hebrew mystical script of
Mm.
which the Kabbalah is based off of. So in this book, there's Lilith, and
Mm-hmm.
she is Adam's equal partner. They were both created from clay and
Mm-hmm.
animated by God. And she decided,
Claymation.
yes,
Oh God.
they were both claymated. And she was like, I don't feel like having sex with you, Adam. And then he like got really pissy and God got really pissy. She flew off and she took up with some demons in the desert. When she took up with these demons, they impregnated her, and all of the demon babies became the succubus and incubus.
Oh my God. I've always heard these terms, but I never like knew this story. So
Yeah.
succubus is the female version and the incubus is the male version.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is insane. I mean,
Yeah.
wow.
Now, you might. Now, here's something interesting about Lilith is that she's actually her origin pre the Abrahamic religion story of Lilith is she's basically Ishtar Astarte, also known as Goddess Babylon in the Book of Revelations. That goddess is a goddess of love and war
Mm.
and is also associated with the priestess temples of being a whore. So you're a whore in the temple,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a sacred, spiritual, highly regarded position in society. And basically, what happens is that as a priestess, you receive the men that come in to the temple to have sex with you, but they're not having sex with you. They are having sex with the goddess through you.
Mm-hmm.
And you're serving as a vessel of the goddess so that the men can get the feminine frequencies that they need
Mm-hmm.
spiritually.
And that's what they told their wives when they came home from the whorehouse. Honey, I was not having sex with another woman. It was a goddess so that I could get more feminine frequencies so that I could better relate to you. I did it for you. Do you
I'm
think
sure
that
there was
said a lot?
I think there was I'm sure there was a lot of that going on. So we just found out where the succubus and the incubus come from.
They're the
So
descendants of Lilith and demons in the desert.
yes.
Okay.
So here's what happens. The incubus and the succubus, they really are attracted to people that are extremely Christian, such as nuns and priests.
Oh.
The succubus, the female version of the spirit, enters through dreams of the man and then creates a paralysis.
Mm-hmm.
And the incubus is the male ghost to the female human. And they have the intention to impregnate the female. And he will come to her and sleep, and she'll feel a great weight bearing down on her, and she can't move. Now, some women that this happens to, they freak out and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
but other women that this happens to, they get into it, and by all accounts, ghost sex feels way more pleasurable than real, like human sex, by all accounts.
How many accounts are there? Are there a lot?
So many.
Okay.
The woman becomes pregnant by the ghost.
Mm.
And she gives birth to what is known as a cambion.
Oh.
Now, a cambion is a human, from what everyone can tell, except they're just a little extra special. They are extremely sexually attractive, sensual. They've been known to teleport, have healing abilities, and are generally just like extra awesome human, from what everybody can tell. They're like, the person like that comes in and lights up the party and everybody wants to have sex with them.
Yeah.
At any point, have you been curious as to how the incubus impregnates the woman?
I mean, I feel like it usually happens when her husband's out of town. Mysteriously and conveniently. That's all I can get.
I'll give you the chain of how this whole impregnation takes place.
Okay.
The succubus, the female, so she comes to the man and she gets his sperm, and then she gives it to an incubus.
What?
And then the incubus uses the human man's sperm to impregnate the human female.
Oh my God. This is like the extremes that people went to like cover their ass for infidelity back then. And it's like before the golden age of science, you could like kind of get away with this stuff, right? That's what's happening.
What? I was like, this explains, like, no, really, I'm just like Mary.
Right. It's like, okay, how many Marys can there be? Come on. This is insane. Another pregnant virgin. There's definitely a succubus and incubus infestation in this town. Oh my God.
Yes.
Isn't it scary that it's like a long time ago, but not long enough ago to not be scary that like these are human beings believing this.
I know. Like, what do we believe?
Yeah.
That is the equivalent.
That's a good question. It's a good question.
To the succubus and incubus theory of conception.
I can think of a few things, but I don't even feel like getting into it now.
Right.
I think we both know something that we could both think about that. people are believing bullshit about.
Yeah.
But
like how that vaccine's working. Sorry, I kind of
not working. It's actually working to kill the people that are not Christians, so that only Christians will be left on earth.
It's actually working to kill the people that follow rules. Because I know that the one thing that the government wants are people that are rebels that don't follow any rules. It makes perfect sense
Right.
that the government would be persecuting all of the rule followers that believe the things the government's saying.
Right. Good point.
It's logic.
Yeah. I mean, the only reason I said what I said is because I literally heard that exact conversation today. And I was frightened and disheartened.
I mean,
and just stunned. But I would equate that to like a modern day incubus succubus mentality.
Totally.
It's the closest I can think of.
Definitely. Currently, many people who, the majority of them are women, have sex with ghosts. While generally this happens, so here's kind of like a general idea of how the story goes. So you're laying down to take a nap, or you've just laid down and you're going to sleep, or you're coming to and waking up. And all of a sudden, you feel a presence. Maybe you even see a presence. You feel, a lot of them talk about like a sensation of like a hand running up their leg to their thigh and then in between their thighs. And then the people that go, hey, okay, this feels pretty good. They have a good ghost sex experience. The people that go, wait a second, I don't know what's happening here. Why does it feel like there's a hand going up my leg and I can't see anything? They get kind of freaked out and they're like, this is rapey, dude.
Yeah.
That's generally how it happens, though. It's like when you're falling asleep or waking up, a lot of people claim they were taking a nap.
Naps. I need to take more naps.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really nap.
Yeah, naps are great, especially when you're trying to have sex with a ghost.
Totally. I need to make myself more available. I need to free up my schedule for more naps. So, is it cheating if it's a ghost and you didn't like? They came to you. I don't know. That's something to think about.
It just fell in, honey. I'm sorry.
Okay, so all these like the research that you've done in like these reports and experiences, is there like a general time range when it was like super prevalent succubus and incubusing, or like are there still people saying this happens to them?
Yes, but they're not. There's the religious connotation has generally gone out of it. The succubus incubus thing really seemed like it started gaining popularity in like the 1300s.
1300s.
Yeah, and it was a lot happening with nuns or priests.
While they're napping, the napping nun.
So I think they were using it as like,
oh my God,
a way to explain bodily fluids on sheets.
Yes.
That like, I think that's just the whole story right there.
Well, I was thinking of a way to explain pregnant nuns because we know that happened all the time.
Yeah.
And like my grandma already told the story, but my grandma's stepdad or something was working on construction at some nunnery. And then like in the walls, there were like babies.
Yeah.
Buried in the walls.
Yeah.
Because nuns are humans and they have sex.
Yeah.
But they can't tell anyone that they're pregnant. And so a succubus is like an incubus is a great scapegoat.
Yeah, totally.
Wow. And you said they seem to be attracted to Christians like nuns and priests. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Because they explain stained sheets and unwanted pregnancies.
Yeah.
Two of the biggest problems of nuns and priests the days of yore.
I wonder why the napping is a big part of it, though.
there's quite a few ghost sex accounts from people. Now it's just sort of like, hey, a ghost came and had sex with me. There's even people that like talk about how they prefer dating ghosts.
Dating? Where are you hearing this?
I'm not gonna get into just there's some woman that's like talks about dating ghosts.
Dating ghosts.
It was in like the Daily Mail or something, so I didn't really bother with it.
Okay,
I was
so
like,
that's kind of like the Globe, or what's that, National Enquirer or something? It's like
like weekly. Remember the Weekly World News?
Yes. Oh my god. I don't think they make those anymore.
No.
Those were so great. So if you are dating a ghost and they quit texting you, are you humaned?
Oh my god.
Dad joke.
Hilarious.
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh my god.
I said that.
I love it. Okay, so the most likely explanation for spectrophilia is a form of sleep paralysis.
Yes.
Duh. I mean, come on. So I do energy healing for years, and I don't believe this. Like, now, I'm not saying that like you can't have like I'm not saying you can't have like a ghostly presence and that you could probably have some kind of like sexual experience. I'm not negating that could happen. I just think that there's a explanation for it that seems really easy and makes sense and is something that's very similar to what I've already experienced. It could have been misconstrued as ghost sex if I had been in the mindset to think that.
What? Do I know this? Tell me later.
Well, just that, there's been times when I was taking a nap or I was asleep or I was falling asleep, but I wasn't asleep quite yet, where I felt strange body sensations that like felt like maybe they were coming from outside of me or something like that. And then I have also had times when I woke up where I actually woke up like in the physical sensations of having sex. But sort of I was in that half asleep, half awake stage. I had an orgasm, like a spontaneous orgasm. And I recall that happening, and it did feel very like strangely like different and like more pleasurable or like more somehow. Which is exactly what these people's descriptions of ghost sex are. Now, I was just in my regular house that wasn't creepy at all. But if I had been in a creepy house, would I have thought that I was having sex with a ghost?
I can see. Yeah. Okay. I can see how that could be misinterpreted.
Like,
but then how do you explain, like, you can't really believe you got pregnant from the ghost, though? Well, that's where I have to draw the line.
No, I guess I'm saying, like, I don't believe in succubus and incubus the way that they've been described. But I do believe that it could be possible to like have some kind of a sexual interaction with a ghost. I'm not gonna say that stuff didn't happen to the people that they said that it did, but I do think there's a really good explanation that is not ghost sex.
Yes, I think I can see how it could be misinterpreted as ghost sex, like in the situation you're describing, if it was like the year 1300.
Yeah,
that does make sense.
Or current.
I mean, yeah. Currently, I would hope that people would use more like REM sleep disorder or sleep paralysis mentality, but I guess they don't. And so,
well, because our bodies and minds like don't fall asleep at the same time. And in REM, your body's like basically in paralysis, but sometimes your mind can wake up, and then that's sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's really scary for people, and they even will see like a figure.
Yes.
And, these are things that are taking place in a laboratory setting.
Yeah, like that really is happening and it is terrifying for people.
Mm-hmm.
I thank God I've never experienced it, but I've talked to like 2 people in the last 2 days that it's happened to.
Really?
Yeah, like legitimate
Wow.
people that are like my colleagues. And
Yeah.
they were like, "You've never had it?" And I was like, "Hell no." And they're like,
Yeah.
"It's terrifying." And they've had it like multiple times. And I was like, "Oh my God."
Jeez.
They're just talking about it like, "Oh yeah." And then you feel like you can't move. And I'm like, "Oh my God."
Great.
I would freak out because I've definitely seen like on all my ghost story things, people describing this and they're like, there was a presence holding me down. And it's like, no, it's just this.
Mm-hmm.
But without that information, I can totally see how it would be interpreted as like supernatural.
Yeah, definitely.
I believe in ghosts and that.
I do too. Me too. That's what I'm saying. Like you know, I can do energy healing and also think that you probably have sleep paralysis and that you didn't just have sex with a ghost.
Right.
Like our minds are capable of really amazing, insane, incredible things to the point that like we both might not even exist the way that we are perceiving anything right now as existing in our realm. I mean, like it's infinite potential. Our spirit is infinite potential. I'm not going to negate people saying they had sex with a ghost. Although I will say that if you think you've been raped by a ghost, because there's a lot of accounts of that kind of thing too.
Yeah.
That like you might want to look into a logical explanation of like, or not logical, but you might want to look into like a material explanation of what is my body doing when I'm kind of asleep, but not really. It's like, you know, whenever you twitch yourself awake,
I
your
have
body
the
twitches awake.
feeling like I'm falling. I always feel like I'm falling and then I like jump, my whole body jerks. Yeah.
I get that too. Well, that's because your mind is already asleep, but your body hasn't caught up yet. So that's
I'm falling asleep.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So it's like, that's like the other flip side of that, how your mind and body aren't operating together when it comes to like how tired you are.
Yeah.
And that people don't know that. And it causes a lot of confusion for when things like this happen.
Hypnagogic and hypnopompic hallucinations.
Dr. Sarah, what is that?
What is that?
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
so hypnagogic is like when you're falling asleep. And I always remember it as like hypnaga, like going. So when you're going to sleep, when you're falling asleep, those are the hallucinations that you have. And then hypnopompic is when you're like popping up, waking up out of bed. Nice. That's how I remembered them. So both of those times, people who have like no other mental health conditions can have like hallucinations, and they can sometimes be like really intense or even really scary. Like my friend would have like scary, almost demon hallucinations when she woke up, but that was it. Only for like a few seconds, and like she had no other symptoms.
And she
like,
if I've learned anything in this world, it's that it's probably not demons.
That's good.
But sometimes it is.
That's not good. That's crazy. So I'm glad that you chose this as the topic, because I've always heard of incubus and succubus. And like, I kind of knew, especially like a succubus, I thought of it as just like a spirit, like calling a man to have sex with them or something. But I never knew like the origins and the details. And I didn't know it was so like prevalent, and like people actually gave accounts of it and like admitted to it and attributed pregnancies to it and things like that.
Well, and it's not just like in our Western European cultures either. It's all around the world. Cultures of all kinds have some sort of succubus incubus story.
That's because every culture commits adultery and they need a way to cover their ass.
That's what I thought.
I mean, sorry.
I know. Oh my God. It's so funny because like I believe all of this stuff, but I'm also incredibly skeptical.
Yeah.
Like you have to be.
Yeah. So this is where the Lilith Fair came from. It's named in honor
Yeah.
of this Lilith.
Mhm.
Okay. That's cool.
Yes. So do you want to hear about a few celebrities that have had ghost sex?
What? Are you kidding me?
No.
Yes, I definitely want to hear that.
Okay. Well, how about Bobby Brown
Ew, come on.
from
Tenderoni.
Yes. Tenderoni Bobby Brown.
Okay.
He said he was in his Georgia home, an old, it was like a big old mansion.
Mm-hmm.
He woke up being mounted by a ghost,
Mounted.
and he wasn't high. And
Sure.
he said it was very vivid and very real, and that he went along with it because it felt good.
I mean, yeah.
Anna Nicole Smith,
Oh,
she was taking a nap, and
the
she,
naps.
Mhm, yep, she was taking a nap, and she woke up feeling a hand going up her leg, and she looked, and there was no one there. And then at first she was like, what? And then she was like, it was like, oh. So she just like went with it. She said she was like, hey, you know what? This feels good. Fuck it. I'm going with it. That's not a direct quote. Um, then there is Kesha, the song Stress.
Songstress.
He actually has a song. I'm not really familiar with Kesha. Like I
Yeah.
know who she is, but I don't really know her music. But she has a song called Supernatural
Mm-hmm.
that is all about the ghost sex
Wow.
that she has. And she said, this is what she had to say about him. I didn't know his name. He was a ghost and he was great. What she said.
That's all she said.
Well, I'm sure she said other stuff, but that was the only thing I wrote down
I have to listen to the
that she
song.
said. Yeah, there's like, I'm sure if you listen to the song Supernatural, you would definitely get a lot more. Then there is Lucy Liu.
Okay, this is the first one where I'm like, all right, I kind of will believe this. The other ones, I'm like, drugs,
Yeah,
drugs.
right. But Lucy Liu, she seems like she really has her shit together.
Yeah, I would believe her.
Yeah.
What'd
So
she say?
she said that she had been napping
Damn.
and she felt this presence come over her. I actually do believe this one. She felt this presence come over her, and she said it was sheer bliss. Something came down and it touched me, and now he watches over me.
So is she describing it like a sexual way though? Because
Yeah, she
Okay.
did. That was just, but the
Okay.
quote, that was kind of like the quote. I liked that quote though, because I was like, because now she feels like she has like a guardian angel kind of a thing.
Wow.
There's Dan Aykroyd
Oh, in the movie.
in real life.
Wait, what?
Well, okay. He didn't actually have sex with a ghost,
Mm-hmm.
but he lived in Mama, I don't know if he still does, but he lived in Mama Cass from the Mamas and the Papas,
Mm-hmm.
her old house. Apparently that house is really haunted, like it was anyway before she even lived there or whatever. He woke up in his bed and there was a ghost in his bed, and they started cuddling. And he said that he got the feeling that the ghost was gay. That it was a man, like, that wanted to cuddle, and he was like,
Oh my
okay.
gosh. You had a ghost cuddle?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Wow.
Dan Aykroyd, ghost cuddler.
Was that before the movie? Did that like inspire it?
Well, okay, so Dan Aykroyd is a fourth generation spiritualist.
Are you kidding?
No, and he grew up in a household where there were just seances all the time. And his brother actually like wrote a book on like the spiritualist movement, like, and like the people in
Wow.
his family that were involved in that. So that's, you know, that's part of the inspiration for Ghostbusters.
Yeah. That makes total sense now. I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know that?
I looked it up.
Don't reveal your secrets.
I know. I do have one more
Okay.
that is not a pleasant ghost story, but it does have like an ending that, you know, works out.
Okay.
So I don't know. I didn't really know who this was. I had to look her up, but so Ice-T's wife,
Oh yeah, Coco.
Coco Austin, she was like hanging out on the couch in a nightie. She suddenly felt the dress was moving up her leg, and then she felt like a guy was starting to rape her.
Ugh.
I mean, it was like a ghost though, you know, but
Mhm.
it like felt like that. Ice-T came in to the room, and then he like basically, you know, bullied the ghost, and she didn't get assaulted.
Whoa. He bullied it. So was she like, hey, I feel like there's a ghost attacking me
Yeah.
right now? And
She
then
was
he
like,
was like, get out of here.
yeah, she
Hmm.
was like, help me.
Oh my God. That's
So
creepy.
yeah, I thought that was pretty creepy. But here's the other thing. Now, isn't it funny that I'm like, the other people, I'm like, oh yeah, that was sleep paralysis. With Coco, I'm like, was this ghost raping her? Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna believe the victim.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I'm not gonna question Coco. Like if she thinks she was getting raped by a ghost, I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
believe her. Like that's just how it is.
Yeah.
Even though these other people who had consensual ghost sex, I'm like, I don't know if I believe you or not. Like I said, like I do think that it is possible. Now, see, the thing with Coco is that she was not napping. She was just hanging out on the couch watching TV.
Yeah.
So that's another thing where like the situation was a little different.
My
You know,
God.
just a sample of celebrities who have had ghost sex.
I never would have known that there were so many and that they would talk about it, you know?
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
know. There were some other people too, but I didn't really know who they were. So Dan Aykroyd, he had this to say about just about how he grew up and stuff. So he said, I am a spiritualist, a proud wearer of the spiritualist badge. He told Psychic News in 2009. Mediums and psychic research have gone on for many, many years. Loads of people have seen spirits, heard a voice, or felt the cold temperature. I believe that they are between here and there, that they exist between the fourth and fifth dimension, and that they visit us frequently. He also said that my mother speaks about a time when she was nursing me and an old couple came to the end of the bed. The image faded away. She pulled out an album and saw that it was my great grandfather, Sam, and Jenny, his wife, coming to approve the new child. And then John Belushi had said that whenever him and Dan Aykroyd would visit their Aykroyd's old farmhouse, like the family farmhouse, that Dan Aykroyd would turn the lights off and wait for his grandfather to appear as a ghost.
Okay. Did it
So
ever happen?
I don't know.
Again, like drugs,
I
though.
know. I know. I mean, that's the problem with this stuff. Because, like, especially like Coke or any kind of
Mm-hmm.
speed, because when you stay up, when you get sleep deprivation, you can have hallucinations.
Right.
But I mean, I do believe in ghosts.
I mean,
If John Belushi tells me he saw a ghost, I'm probably not going to believe him.
mm-hmm.
Because he's the really because he's like really fucked up on drugs.
Right.
I actually don't like John Belushi. I don't think he's funny, and I don't understand the appeal. Do
I
you
think I
like
need
John
to
Belushi?
revisit it because I don't really either. I know it's like Okay, dressed as a bumblebee or something, and that was hilarious. And then
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I need to watch
I,
something again and see what's up.
I watched some old Saturday Night Live, and I'm just like, I feel like John Belushi is the least funniest thing about
Mm-hmm.
anything he's in. Like, I
It's
don't
like
like
the
the
samurai,
yeah, exactly.
and he just goes around like cutting stuff with a samurai
Yeah,
sword.
exactly. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
want to speak ill
just
of the dead, but I
sure. Yeah.
don't know. I've never been like, I want to watch a John Belushi movie and laugh
Yeah.
my ass off or whatever.
Yeah. I just don't get him.
Yeah, maybe there was. I
Mm.
mean, to be honest with you, it's kind of like Andy Kaufman to me. It's like, is
Mhm.
that maybe you just had to be there,
We'll
like in the
see.
moment of time?
Andy Kaufman, I totally get. And I actually do
Mm-hmm.
think he's really brilliant, but I don't think if you're expecting comedy from Andy Kaufman where you laugh out loud in the moment,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to be disappointed. If you're looking for comedy where like a week after you saw the thing that he did makes you laugh hysterically,
Mm-hmm.
then go for Andy Kaufman because that's like
Okay.
his humor, and I really like that humor. Not all the time,
Mm-hmm.
but I get it, and I do see why he's a genius. But I also
I like John
understand.
Lovitz.
Yeah, what's the ticket? That's my favorite. Oh yeah, yeah, that's a ticket.
It's so funny. But so, of all the stories, the celebrity stories, I feel like Lucy Liu is the one that makes me be like, okay,
Agreed.
I could believe this is a thing.
I agree.
Yeah. That's it. All I know is that I need to take more naps and see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm open.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you'll report back to us and let us know how it goes.
I will.
All right.
If anything happens, I'll let you know.
Awesome.
I'm going
Bye.
to go take a nap.
Awesome.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Cover Your Eyes podcast. We love it when you subscribe, rate, and review.
You can also visit our store on Redbubble at Cover Your Eyes Podcast.
On Patreon, we've got an after party every week where we tell all our secrets and answer the movie mysteries that keep you up at night. It's twice the melodrama and double the fun. Find it on patreon.com/Cover Your Eyes.
Oh, don't forget, if you have your own memories of this movie, let us know. Email us at coveryoureyespodcast@gmail.com.